All right, what's up, guys? Let's get started, shall we? How's it going? How's it going? I am bored out of my mind, I gotta tell you. I threw on a little scalpy kind of lotto type position here on one of those fresh 25k eval or fundeds on TPT. I just have no real interest in trading today, guys. And if you've been trading this at all, you probably know exactly why. But thank you for being here. I see some familiar names that were in last night's class. Thank you for being there, Chris, Vish, Sammy, Luke. Did we ever figure out what the, like, okay, gang, that's what it means. Okay. Dude, can we talk about how weird the chat looks? Luke said gang, but to me it looks like Asian. Very, very, very is what it says. No idea what that means or why that happens on YouTube, but it is funny nonetheless. What's up, Eldred? Sparkle, hit the like. Thank you so much. Good afternoon to you, wherever you are. Yeah, guys, I don't know. Today is meh. That's all I can say about today. But I can't shake this feeling that the market's weak and that everything going on in the market is weak and people are starting to catch on that things are not right. But the only thing that's in the back of my mind is you have NVIDIA earnings next week. So, like, what are we really going to do ahead of that? Because everything that tells you that there's some kind of underlying friction in the market that could be exacerbated, right? Volatility's too low. People are buying hedges. Maybe they're not selling outright, but they are hedging. If they're doing that, then something changes the narrative and we get some positive something out of NVIDIA. And then people just get absolutely ripped next week because they were over hedged and people close their shorts. And then we get back into this whole spot up, vol up situation because volatility is technically too low. It can't really go any lower. There's just so many ways that you could look at it. And it's hard to like take a side definitively right now when you've got all this stuff staring you in the face saying we shouldn't go lower, but we keep trying. It's just a weird time in the market. So today was just an ugly day coming in. I think I said it in my pre-market video. I was really not enthused about downside unless we got kind of under. I'm sure you guys know where I'm pointing, right? Things get really fishbony in here, but unless you're under this one to kind of get pointed down towards this bigger magnet and through all of this, there's a reason why we haven't just sold off, right? There's a reason why we've just been chopping and bouncing around this kind of boundary where things start to get mostly long. So if we long, you're longing back to a place where you have a ceiling. So longs aren't attractive because you're just going to go slow. And if you get somewhere, you're probably going to get stuffed, right? So today, from a futures standpoint, this little pop was always probably going to reject back to here. And if it didn't hold here, it was probably going to get stuck lower. But the longer we're around this spot, we're probably going to hold here and kind of just bounce around and then eventually maybe get shoved up against this 7710 ES spot again. It's really hard to see downside unless you're way down here. So that means you have to fight all of this that's just passively buying futures all afternoon. So we're just going to get chopped to death, just to absolute death. And this is no fun for anybody, right? We're just effectively going nowhere. If no one's strong enough to shove us somewhere, we're going nowhere. Shorts get disappointed, longs get disappointed. We just go sideways. So, Mitch, even overnight, there was so much strong support. Why'd we keep pushing through? I thought it was unlikely. What's up, Adam? Vish, the thing about this is you're monitoring and you have expectations and known behaviors. But overnight, even though this can be respected more often than not, right? Active flow is always the dominant factor against passive flow, right? Unless that active flow is weak, then the passive flow dominates, right? But I think it's really unfair to look at the overnight range, okay, and say that we didn't kind of do what was expected. If I'm just looking at the overnight, what did we hold pretty much all night long until London? Right? If I drew a line and said until this, and I drew a line under all of this, what does that kind of correlate with? The start of the support, right? And then when we sold down into that range, we didn't really lose this, right? We bounced off of it, came back up here, we came back down, and then we got shoved under it. Somebody changed the equation, right? And it was strong enough to move through this whole range until things again got more positive. And then as we open, I mentioned this in the pre-market plan, there's a probability because we gapped down that the initial, right, the initial reaction is going to be a bid. Because if you short into a bunch of longs and then the market opens and those options reprice, all those market makers got to buy a bunch of futures all of a sudden. Because when the market closed yesterday, it closed up here. When we opened, we're down here into a bunch of longs. They have to buy futures. So this initial drive up to this kind of key balance spot on the day was about the most nailed on thing you could expect. But from the pre-market structure, everything about this tells me unless you're selling way lower, everything from above and below is telling you we're probably going to range around this big spot literally all afternoon. And unless you get sold under this spot to where things get thinner, to where things are very strong down below, you're probably not even going to get there. You're probably going to get to like here. But the longer time goes on, the more likely this becomes. This is like today, nobody wins, guys. It's not a high conviction trade, Alex. This is just like, maybe if we get some weakness out of nowhere, maybe it'll happen, right? The market looks like it wants to be weak, right? We keep getting sold down, but there's no one to actually make it happen. So if there's no one to actually make it happen, we're just going to do this, right? If you're not down there from the pre-market where things maybe get a little dicey and indecisive, if you're not down there, you're over it. So then what does that tell you? Yeah, guys, it's like literally look at the size. It's 2 micros on MNQ. Like, who gives a shit? And it's literally just a, hey, wouldn't it be fun if we started flirting down there? That's all it is. It's not like there's no conviction behind that trade. It's like, let's have something on just in case things get wacky, right? But nothing too crazy. So that's all I have to say about that. But how are you guys doing? I've recovered from yesterday, right? I actually feel kind of energized. That group class last night gave me a lot of positive vibes coming into today. So for anyone that attended that's here last night, I hope it worked for you, but I feel good about it. It's fun. It's nice to get people moving in the same direction, right? So, yeah. Happy you guys are here. Happy I'm not starting the stream complaining about losing $8,000 in profit. I haven't forgotten. I'll forgive myself, but I won't forget. Steaming hot Ethiopian coffee. Bored as hell. Hey, join the club, brother. I am bored as hell too. What trades do I have on aside from that one? That's just a little speculative thing. I had like a really funny, like I paid $150 or so for like this kind of a move. What'd I say? I have this trade on, an SPX. Just like, it's so cheap. It cost me $150. If it worked out, I could make $4,000, right? So that just kind of like a lotto downside. Hey, market's shaky. Even though the positioning says this range is where things get a little uncertain, right? Whenever you guys see fish bony kind of stuff like this, all bets are off. One thing offsets the other one. The market could literally do anything in here, right? But if we're operating from this very simple premise, if you're not under something, you're over it. Everything, like this should be so obvious to you guys if you're not new here, right? Everything is pointing you up, and everything is pointing towards this being the strongest kind of magnetic area. So there's no other trade to put on. There's literally no attractive trade. If you were long, the only attractive trade would have literally been the trade that just happened. And you're pretty much knowing that the odds of you moving beyond this materially are limited to nothing. So if you want to put on a little 1.5 hour trade, like go ham, dude. If you did it based off of a prior low or low of day, and that was your risk, you'll get a higher R to R trade, right? In that capacity. But from a probability standpoint, to me, yeah, like we're not really going to go lower. So that was easily your best long on the day. But once it gets there, the odds of it doing this are like nothing. So take your trim, treat it like a scalp, short it to the other end again. Like, I don't know. It's really just not a great situation to be in. Couldn't sleep, caught the morning short. Hey, there you go, Miggy. Oh, very nice. Yeah, micros do work. Micros do work. I took 9 micros and turned it into 15 large last week or whatever that was. Like, it's really not that hard. Let's see here. I'm wanting to learn it as well. I find it to be very helpful if you know how to use it properly. Yeah, there's edge, guys. Six. Oh, how dare you lie to us, Miggy. One-armed Miggy over here lying about micros. Shame. Shame. I'm just kidding. I don't know if you guys can hear the music. I didn't put a record on today. I just threw it in the background. Because I don't want to have to get up and change the record over all the time, you know. It's super annoying because you have to flip it like, 5 times or 4 times on 2 records. Pain meds got you tripping. Hey, if you can make money when you're tripping on pain meds, that's probably not a bad thing. Class last night was really good. Just need to get the indicator figured out later. Yeah, Chris, it'll come. I promise. Oh, guys. Whew. Yeah, I'm not risking a lot, guys. It's a couple micros. It's on one of those 25K TPT accounts. Yep, it's recorded. So anyone that attended last night got the recording. So that went out today. Yeah, I didn't realize that when I passed those evals, even though it was 3 days to pass, I didn't realize that I was slightly over. So this morning on those other 2 accounts, I had to make like an extra $15 or something. So that was a little annoying. I was just going to copy trade all of them. That's why I only took a couple micros on this one account, just to be like, meh, I'll throw it on. But now that it is the intraday trailing drawdown, that's a new thing. I'm not used to navigating that. I don't really mess with those very often. And I know that that's what's different about TPT right now is they still have the intraday trailing where like some of these other accounts like Funded Seat are end of day. So it's just a quirk, but that's why I'm tiny risk, right? I'm not going to lose a whole lot. I'm not going to win a whole lot probably unless we get some big adverse drop through all of this range, which is a very unlikely scenario. Why is positive gamma environment difficult to traverse? Or is it just you? I mean, we talk about it every day. It's the dynamic of what it represents, right? It's mean reverting. It's buying and selling of futures by all these market makers long. The more green you see, the more they're just countering each other. So if every time you get bid up, the market maker above you is selling, and every time you sell down, the market maker below you is buying, and vice versa, and they're doing that constantly, you don't go anywhere, guys. Like, this is literally, if I showed you a visual of positive gamma environments or positive positions, all you would see is this. You would see literally barcoding. That is what happens when there's not a lot of volatility in the market, right? No one's pricing for the range to get any bigger. So the more you stay in a range, the tighter the priced range gets, the less exploring you can do. So this is just this is nailed on. This is exactly what you would expect. It's a whole lot of nothing. So even if you somehow get up here and we break through 7710 ES, it's probably short-lived, number one. Number two, if you do break out, you're barely going to get beyond the high of day. You are more likely to just go even slower. Once you break through that, it's just slow, slow, slow as you go. There's nothing to accelerate you. So again, right here, if this rejects and comes right back down to the low of day, it would be the least surprising development. That's why I said if I was long, I'd be like scalping maybe, but even then, like, it's just not attractive, guys. This is just, when you hear about people who have been trading for a long time, being able to look at a day and just say, I'd rather not. You could have pointed at today as easily one of those days. That's why my pre-market plan is I'm going to be patient. I'm not rushing into anything today, right? And if you were scalping, then at least you knew where the range boundaries were, right? You knew where to not get greedy, and you knew where to take some profit off probably, or just not trade at all. I don't know. It's like that is the edge in this as well, is if you have this data, you could have literally looked at today coming in and been like, oh, I'm not too excited about any of this, right? It's not that bad unless you have big risk on. I just take my base hits till I hit the buffer. Been using TPT for a while. Yeah, I'll be the first to admit I haven't really traded TPT accounts often. I've just stayed away because I don't want to have to think about anything else. Like having to think about intraday trailing is one of those things where I was just like, if I don't have to do it, I don't have to do it. I can get paid easier just taking my normal trades. But 50% off, we got a discount. They shorten the eval days, which is also attractive, guys. Like anything that takes 5 days to pass inherently is just something I don't really want to have to do. I like being able to pass in a day or 2 days at worst. So that made it more attractive to take. So I figured why not, threw it out there and went for it. I should just stay away on positive gamma days. I end up losing unnecessarily. Or you just reframe your expectations around what's in front of you, right? You can still trade positive gamma days. You can still have a red day when there's a lot of positive gamma, guys. It just means there's more liquidity, right? There's just more people that are active across the board, so it's harder to move when everybody's kind of trading constantly. There's no volatility if everyone agrees on price, if you want to call it that. Had a couple bad days, caught the initial move in the morning and then gave it back trading the chop. Yeah, that's the rub. That is the rub. Just 0 date, Black Axe. I focus on 0 date. I'll look at days beyond today, but if I'm trading today, I care about today, right? I'm not going to get all wrapped up in tomorrow if I'm trading today's influence. Sometimes you need to be aware of other days and like how does, if today's really thin and there's not a lot of positions, is there something I should think about with like OPEX positioning tomorrow morning? There's nothing for OPEX that means anything right now beyond like 77.50 on SPX. So like 77.70 ES is like, maybe you could make the argument we'll get up there. So this would be one of those things where like maybe in the overnight, if we get a little bid or if we close the day decently strong or a little bit higher up, we'll get magnetized up into an OPEX position, but you can just as easily say we're not going to go anywhere and we're just going to get stuck around right where we are, 76.90, 85. Like, that's entirely possible too, into the morning as we just grind into nowhere. But there's really not a lot of support the lower you go overnight. At least as things stand right now. OPEX positioning, there is no real supportive floor below us tomorrow. At least as it stands right now. But you have to remember, just because there's no supportive floor, if no one's shoving us down there to make it dangerous, it's actually inherently supportive, which is where people get tripped up. I get it. So we'll see what happens today. But like, if you wanted to take a lotto put tomorrow into the opening print, I'd put on like a super cheap 76.25 or something and just be like, hey, if we sell off overnight, I'm going to make money. Not financial advice. If I were a gambler, if I were a betting person, and I wanted some downside exposure. Volatility is cheap right now, so. What about the pre-market flush? How could you have predicted that bounce at 76.80? I don't know that I would have predicted that bounce, to be honest, because I didn't predict that drop. You just have to kind of take those guys and say, like, if I know what I know, the only thing you could say is like, well, there's this block, right? Ignore that drawing for a second. There's this kind of 1, 2, 3 in a row, where here you kind of had some room. If you got under this one, like this technically started slowing you down. It's harder to go through a bunch of longs in a row. So I personally wouldn't have been like, oh, I would have been thinking, man, if we actually keep selling into the open down there and we don't get this big reversion bounce at the open, which we already talked about, if you gap down and there's a bunch of green positions, the first thing they're going to do when the market opens is they have to buy. They have to buy a bunch of futures. Because basically these positions were worth... Let's just do this really quickly. This is just going to be a really fun lesson for everybody. Very basically, at market close, everything down here, as we tested in the pre-market, all these green bars, let's say last night at 4 p.m., they were worth, you know, they had $1. They're worth $1. But as the market dropped in the pre-market, and then we get to the opening print, right? We're kind of hovering down here. Now, so those were worth $1 last night. But as we work down here, suddenly they're only worth $0.50. That means those market makers are offsides. So they have to buy so many futures on ES to make the 50-cent thing worth about $1 to them. So this big rip off the morning was more than likely purely due to hedging the gap down, right? Now imagine the other side of that. Let's say those positions were all red instead. Do you know what would have happened had we opened down there? They would have sold even harder. That's why these positions matter. If I know that these market makers have to buy, and this guy doesn't have to sell unless price actually gap down under here, the first reaction on a gap down today is to buy. Buy futures. That's why we got the big rip, but then we couldn't go any further, right? We sold right back down. So, there's edge in that, right? Do you get it? If you know where someone has to buy futures and when they have to buy futures, that's an edge. If you know where they have to sell futures and in what circumstance they would have to sell, you're watching and saying, I'm placing my bet there. So just like this, I shorted this earlier. Okay, so I shorted this on 5 MNQ on this same account that is now red in this trade, knowing that it was less likely that we kept going from there, and that it was more likely we'd at least come back to this. So a quick scalp, right? Forget what that was. It was a decent return, actually. Yeah, that was about 80 points. And then I trimmed out runners as we dropped. And then I re-entered this trade before the stream just to have something on. Probably shouldn't have done it, but it is what it is. It's 2 micros. Who gives a fuck? But hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Trade the thing that you know has to happen where it has to happen. But that is why when you look at things like OPEX tomorrow, if I know, right, tomorrow morning there's a big position like right here, depending on where we are into the morning in the pre-market, we're probably going to get sucked up to that thing. If we're below it and we're below a bunch of short positions, like I'm telling you guys, had we opened down here, had this move actually opened and we were like sitting right here, do you know what would have happened? This would have sold, or sorry, the pre-market positioning. Yes, they all would have had to buy, but then they also would have had to be offset by the fact prices under those positions. They'd have to sell, 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 sell. It's a whole thing, right? But like, if you know where we are relative to these positions, you know what they have to do. So had we gapped down that far, whatever buying that these positions would have tried to do, or these down here, would have been offset by this guy who had to sell. And whatever the selling pressure was actively, right? It's like, it is what it is. I don't know. I don't want to harp on that too much. That's what those classes and stuff are for. But very generally, guys, the takeaway today was never going to be fun. Today was never going to be a trend day. There's no chance of it being a trend day unless we had reached like escape velocity up here, right? Nobody was really positioned for anything, but that also meant market makers weren't going to help us trend, right? There was no short squeeze that was going to happen. Market makers didn't have to buy futures up here. When it's thin, the market gets to do what it wants. Whoever's winning the fight, if there's more buyers than sellers, they've got room to go before they meet somebody who has to sell. So if you were bullish today, you were probably creaming your jeans that, oh my God, we might go test the pre-market high. Maybe we can break out. I was looking at that going, maybe. I'm not betting on it. I'm betting you run out of steam and all signs point you to here. And if you can't sell down to this spot, all signs point back up into here and probably this spot. And what are we doing? Right? We're going nowhere. They're just trading with each other. Nobody's doing anything. There's nobody trading with enough size to make us move. So basically, we're just going to grind this out into the close. And then if somebody shows up and decides to throw their weight around and say, I'm getting out of here, and they're going to sell, they're probably only going to be able to sell us so far until somebody enters the ring and forces us to do something and makes these guys do something. We're going fucking nowhere. That's what, like, I don't know. It's okay to not trade. It's okay to not see opportunity. If you are putting a trade on in this environment, you're literally probably forcing something. If that is an attractive trade to you, good luck, my friend. Like, go nuts. Take your 10 points and go home. Take your little scalp and be done for the day. That is what I would tell you. I have like, this speculative short that I'm in is like the most I don't give a shit trade in the world. It is literally a, hey, maybe something silly happens, because obviously there's a lot of people who don't want to buy this market. But the thing they're fighting is all of this just kind of passive positioning, right? They got a lot of stuff to chew through. But if they really want to do it, look at the pre-market move, right? It can happen. But it doesn't get exciting for me unless we sell around here. If we can get down to this strike, this is where I think things would get interesting. But the problem is, and we talk about this all the time, right? We're running a race and we know the race is over right here. And the longer this race goes, the closer I get to the finish line, the stronger this support becomes. So if it doesn't start happening soon, it's probably not going to happen, right? You could totally do that kind of a trade, Neva, or Neva to I'm not even going to try. My brain is not functioning enough to read your name. But that's a good question. Yeah, if you're an options trader, today is a premium collection day. If you sold premium today, if you were theta farming, right, you are making money today, right? If you took a fly and you put it on right here and you think we're going to pin pretty close to this spot, you're probably making money today, right? Did I already cover RTY, or is it the same shit across the board? I think if you're trading something like RTY, I think the volatility difference between RTY and SPX is such that, like, if there was a trade opportunity, in the market, the most reactive index is probably going to be RTY, even beyond SPX, from a rate perspective and just everything going on from a macro level. But I think there's probably more adverse movement with RTY compared to SPX, but or ES, but I don't know. Nothing is attractive today. I'm not looking at anything. It's just never thought of that. I like it. It's a good name. So Adam, what's interesting about that is that big breakout over that big strike. What made that not as attractive to me is how fast it happened. So if market makers are selling futures as we approached that spot, right? We kept rejecting it. We popped over it. We came back under it, right? Came back up to it, rejected it. And then we got this big explosive pop. What do they have to do when that happens? If I know they're selling there and then a really violent pop, a big bid comes in, what is the reaction of those same market makers going to be? What do they have to do? If price moves that fast, how do they have to respond? Just as fast, right? If their position changes that quickly, they have to react just as quickly. And if that same pressure that exploded through that strike isn't big enough to keep going, that reaction from those market makers who are selling futures won. Because now things are back right where they were. So it's kind of like, I hate to say it, but it's kind of like the market came early. They were premature. That shouldn't make me giggle, but it does. But does that make sense? Like, do you see the equivalence? You got really excited. You kind of popped a little bit, maybe too soon. And if you couldn't keep going, if you couldn't hold the PC gland long enough, yeah, I'm done. I got nothing left. Now she's disappointed. Okay? That's what happened. That probably makes a little too much sense to some of you. I'm not going to name names, but I've got a feeling there's a couple of you who are sitting there going, damn. If you didn't take the gas station horny pill and you couldn't keep going, it got limp. Okay? And that's what happens. That's how knowing where market makers are going to do something and how much of it they're going to do, you know what has to happen. So when you guys hear me talk about those trades where I take like a prove me wrong trade, why do you think I took the short on MNQ right here, even though we broke past that resistance? It happened so quickly. I knew that if it didn't keep happening and there was no real evidence we were going to do that today, the easy trade was a rejection back down. Now, had you watched that and said, okay, I missed that pop, but I think we could get bid here, and there's something about the positioning that would have told you maybe that was more attractive at the time, right? If we go to the, oh shit, oh no. Hopefully this is not a problem. Okay, there we go. Bear with me, guys. Little dead mouse situation, right? Now, if I had broken over this and held it, right, and this was like a big red and a small red, and I thought, oh, we can get some momentum here, I would have been more excited about that, right? But there wasn't anything that told me that someone's going to help those people buying, right? If anything, it told me, hey, if they run out of steam right here and I come back to this spot, I would want to see it hold this area, like a break and retest kind of a strategy. Then maybe I'd be interested. But a lot like yesterday, we got a pop yesterday, right? And we tried to kind of hold that. We got another pop on stream, and then we failed to hold it, and we just did this under that again the whole afternoon. So we popped above that resistance and failed, came back down, popped again, failed, came back down, and now we're just chopping under it. But there's no real impetus for us to go lower, and there's no real impetus for us to go higher. So what are we going to do? We're probably just going to range and chop, right? They're buying below me, they're selling above me. I'm only free to move in the distance between those two places. And the longer I do that, the tighter that range gets, the more I get stuck to one side versus the other. Hey, I'm glad that I could work in premature ejaculation into a trading stream. I didn't think it was ever going to happen, but when you know, you know. God, I hope Jake isn't watching this today. I'm sure we'd like lose sponsors if we had sponsors. Oh, guys. I don't know. Yeah, this is just one of those trading days where you're just kind of like, meh. If something happens, great. If it doesn't, like, you're not missing a thing. Nobody's going to look at today and be like, oh, what an obvious trade, right? There was a couple, but nothing where you thought we were going to keep going. You know what I mean? Like, nothing about today coming in said we are more likely to go somewhere beyond what we're doing. Everything, like, let's look at that. Okay. I don't even know what that is. Those numbers aren't right. So who gives a shit about those? Anyway, I don't need to shift to a pre-market plan. That's stupid. But pre-market positioning. When I recorded my little video this morning, when we were doing this and kind of holding down here, it was literally saying if you're not under this red bar, you're kind of being pointed up here. And if you're in the neighborhood, you're probably going to finish up against or close to this thing. And if you're not way up here, the same thing is probably true. If this is your area of opportunity, if you were bullish, number one, you did not want this move to happen in the pre-market. Maybe here, but you definitely did not want to see that. Once you saw that, the game changed. You're shifting your expectations. It's going to be hard to go lower, but if we go lower, it has to happen here. We could go higher, but now we've got resistance we have to get through that we didn't have coming in the pre-market until that sell-off. I'm telling you right now, had we actually done this and held right here and maybe got a little dip to test this position, then I would have been more on board with looking long. But that is not what happened. We opened lower. And then you had to treat that differently. You had to look at it and be like, okay, my expectations are way smaller on the day, right? So if I take the overnight away and we opened right here, you knew you were going to have resistance all morning. And unless you had someone to help you get up there, market makers weren't going to do it. And then what happened after London got out of the way? It's just reinforcing the same thing. This is all telling me I've got a lot of resistance now. Not just this big bar, but this one and this one and this one, right? All of this is telling you you're going to get stuck in here. And if you go lower, it's probably going to take a long time or way more effort than it should. Yep, the old vice grip. Vice gripping, just they're turning the screws. I only have this short on, guys, because I feel like the market is weak. And I feel like despite all of this positioning, if something happens, if there's a catalyst to sell, right? If there's something that kind of puts a little more panic into the market, even though it looks a certain way, and this is just like an intuition thing, right? Even though it looks a certain way, something could come in and make that change in a hurry. And if we get down to this area, I want to have some risk on to maybe have that outlier thing happen. That is more attractive to me, knowing that we're kind of inherently weak, especially into the close. We've kind of dropped a couple days into the close, right? We're definitely not breaking out. And now we kind of had a gap down and we're ranging lower. If something were to happen, it's probably not happening to the upside today. So that's all it is. That's the only reason I have a short on, is for some like pie in the sky, maybe we get lucky situation, but nothing crazy. So I see it well when you explain it, but today I skewed things trying to do it on my own, getting there slowly. I'm like, just fucking get it already. Listen, I understand. If you guys are trying to incorporate this it's new, right? It's sometimes it's like at odds with what you thought you knew, right? Like you explained something one way for so long. Now you've got something that's giving you a little more to think about, and you're like, "Oh, but I don't know how you look at this stuff day after day," right? Even yesterday, before we had that kind of last minute sell, right? Everything was looking exactly like I drew it into the afternoon. When I left the stream and I drew that squiggly line and I said, we're going to do this more than likely. What did we do yesterday? Once I got off stream, did we go anywhere? We went fucking nowhere. We did exactly what I thought we'd do. I'm pretty sure I posted it. Squiggly line, we did it. We got this kind of nice little dumpy thing inside of the what? The last 15 minutes of the day. Otherwise, this looked like nailed on for that exact close we talked about. And I'll take getting it right for 3 hours. There's edge in that, right? So even today, if we're not getting actively sold and pushed lower to a specific spot to force a different reaction, we're probably going to do the same thing. See you, Miggy. But if you can't do that on your own yet, that's fine. As long as you're documenting and you're getting part of it, the whole point of that bore is for you to have that document to be able to say like, hey, this is what I thought coming in. This is what happened. And at the end of the day, you evaluate. Was I right? Was I guessing? Did the thing that I saw like have some kind of truth, right? Was I inferring? Was I assuming? And then as you know more, as you learn more, right? You're just building that brick by brick. You're getting stronger. Your brain, it's like muscle memory. You'll start seeing these things without having to think about them. And that's the benefit, right? But from a risk management standpoint, today I think was one of those days where it was just like, today was not attractive to trade. There just was, if you wanted to take some of those scalps, that's one thing. But looking for a trend on a day like today coming in, if we did not open up here, you knew that was very unlikely. And there's your edge, right? You can avoid a day where you're more likely to get like caught in chop. If you know that going in and you don't like those environments, it doesn't jive with how you trade. The edge is being able to see that and be like, 80% probability today is rangy and choppy. I don't like those days. I'm going to sit out. You just saved yourself money that you would have blown on an account or on an eval or on a funded, trying to force a trade that was never going to happen or was a very low probability outcome. If you're scalping like VWAP today or something, go ham. If that's how you like to trade, having the edge of knowing when a mean reverting day like that is going to happen. Actually, let's look at that. I think I have a VWAP indicator somewhere. If you're a VWAP trader and we're in a positive gamma environment and you know that you're likely going to mean revert and you know what position is the most magnetic because of time and like what the edges of the range are, right? You could literally sit here and be trading against VWAP all day today, catching 10 points over and over. If you like to do that and that's what you trade, you had a higher probability of VWAP trading today than anything else. If we got to 1 or 2 standard deviations away and you wanted to short back to VWAP, today was your frickin' day. Right? But if you tried doing this on a different day's profile, you'd be getting your ass slapped. Right? So when you know there's a certain thing that is more likely than not, then just trade those probabilities. But if you don't like trading that way, take it as a sign to fuck off. Go do something else. Save yourself the hassle, the stress. I know so many people blew their accounts today. I guarantee you know at least one person who is having a meltdown because they blew their account today. And it's because they don't know that today was destined to be choppy. Today was never going to be a trend day. Right? So having that information coming in is your edge number one, right? I'm sorry to hear that, Luke. But if you knew that coming in, then you could also say, like, I'm trading, I'm scalping. If I came into the day saying, oh, I see this, I'm going to look to scalp, you were ready. You were prepared, right? And that, Adam just nailed it. Bingo. I do think if you are someone who struggles with risk management, and number two, patience. I think most people struggle with risk management because they can't stay patient and wait for the best opportunity. Because if they miss one, they like lump in because they get FOMO, right? So if you get FOMO and then you have something that says, well, the next high probability trade is waiting for price to come here because I know they're going to buy futures here, right? Then you inherently are managing your risk better because you're being patient for a higher probability setup. If you don't have that, then you don't have an edge, because then you're just guessing all the time. And if you can't be patient because your system doesn't tell you how to be patient, right? Whatever it is, there's your problem. But we are starting to get a little movement here. What I would tell you is I don't know that we go much deeper, but what you can do is use what you have in front of you. If I was going to look at something and say, if this was a mountain, right? And I had a ball or a boulder, and I was pushing the boulder and I wanted to pick up some speed, where is the spot where I can pick up more speed? And where do things slow down? In the valley. And where do things start moving even slower? It's when I have to try to push it up the next mountain, right? So if I'm short right here, my expectations are it's probably going to go slow and slower and slower still. So now this is my new range. This is my new home. If I can't push the boulder back up and over this hill, I am now stuck in this range. Are we getting it? But if the market and the people trading in the market are pushing harder, they could get me over this. But then it gets choppy, right? I get stuck here until I get pushed through this one. So there's a lot of effort required. It doesn't mean we can't go further. It just means that more is required to fight that. If I tell you guys this is like having a map, and I'm reading the map because I know where things get dicey for me, where things get harder for me, I look at the active people in the market as the thing I don't know. I don't know how much energy they have. I don't know how much gas in the tank they've got. But I know how steep this mountain is, and I know how much effort it should take someone to get over. And if I see that somebody has the energy to get over it, what do I know about what comes next, right? What do I know about what lies ahead that maybe they don't? Right? And what does that tell me about probabilities? If I know that whoever is pushing this boulder now has to sell even harder to overcome this steepness, right? They're probably going to settle back into this range and maybe come back to settle here and rest for a while. But if they get shoved over this mountain peak, they're probably going to slow down here unless they have enough gas in the tank to get over the next two mountain peaks to keep rolling down the hill, right? Because now we've got a different shape, right? Let's just do this. It's harder to push a boulder up a mountain with less effort. If I'm going to do this, if I'm going to keep pushing this rock up the mountain, I need a lot of energy. to overcome how steep it is, right? And if I give up and I can't keep selling on the way up the mountain, where does the boulder want to roll back to? The valley, where it kind of stalls out and settles, okay? That's how you got to look at this. Are market makers helping me go somewhere, or are they slowing me down? All we can do is use what we know. And when we see something that is counter to what we know, we take it as a sign, right? If what I know is happening doesn't look to be happening anymore, I'm taking it as a sign. So if the market is showing they've got the they've got the momentum, they've got the juice, there's enough people in the market all agreeing that, hey, I want to keep selling, and I've got enough to sell more than the market makers are buying on the way down. And oh, look, I can pick up a little momentum, right? Every one of these red bars that I sell through is gaining a little speed. There you go. Hey, CJ. Hey-o. Calmate, my boy. He popped in, indeed. He's got one of those Angry Hornet gas station pills. CJ came prepared. But hopefully that is jiving with you guys, right? So this whole thing about like, okay, there's the big mountain, and here is another mountain, but we're in a valley. Right? So if we're on a mountain range and we've been shoving this ball around, okay, we got on the other side of this one, but we stalled out, and then somebody said, fuck you, and they shoved us on the other side of this mountain. We came back and we stalled out in this valley for a while, right? What do? We chopped around in this valley. Couldn't quite get shoved on the other side of this mountain, but when we did, where do we find ourselves right now? We're kind of stalled out in the middle of a couple peaks. No one's strong enough to shove us over this one. No one's strong enough to push us over this one. And there's a way bigger hill on this side. Right? Oh, by the way, we need to be done with our hike on this mountain by the time we get here. So what's more likely? We stall out in this range. We recover and get stalled out under this mountain peak, or someone shoves us and we fall all the way down here and we've only got this much time to do it. Okay? So with that, we've got a few minutes left before Christian takes over for the afternoon. So knowing what you know, and knowing that all of this green is just a bunch of market makers buying futures all afternoon, unless we are under this spot, meaning we have covered this mountain peak where we can roll down the other side of it, unless that happens, the closer we get to this blue line, the more likely we just get stalled here, or we get stalled here in this little valley, right? So that's what I'm going to leave you with. You either think someone's going to shove us down the mountain, even though somebody's buying every step we push that boulder up the hill. Somebody is trying to push us back down into this valley. If you think the market is weak enough and there's enough people selling to get on the other side of this over here, there's your bet, right? Otherwise, we're probably just going to have an ugly chop fest this afternoon. But if you're like me, and I put that short on because I just have this feeling, the market is weak. And I don't believe that we're just going to magically trend up and out of here, and someone's going to take us to the promised land up here. Maybe we finish closer to flat, right? Maybe we come back and reclaim and just kind of finish in this valley. That's possible. But I'm just placing a bet that maybe, just maybe, a couple days in a row where at the close we get this kind of shove lower. Somebody's trying to do something. There is something to that. So buy Moose, great question. I think you've got two things coming up. You've basically got NVIDIA earnings, which you know are going to do something to the market, right? NVIDIA earnings are going to impact the market. It's stupid to think they won't. Okay. Number two, Jackson Hole. Right now, what happened with the bond market and with Besant trying to provide liquidity in the bond market is fundamentally at odds with what Kevin Warsh and the Fed have to do. So Kevin Warsh and the Fed are meeting in Jackson Hole. There's going to be volatility around that meeting. So you've got some unknowns that are sitting out there. NVIDIA earnings, Jackson Hole. Jackson Hole is just going to impact like things around rates, right? And the Fed and Fed decisions. So if you take the unknowns that are sitting out there, that's like the volatility in the market. Those are the things the market doesn't know how to react to. So until they happen, there's kind of some volatility out there. What Besant just did with the bond market, that is basically already being erased. Whatever benefit the market thought we were getting from that has already dissipated. If you look at the yields, they've already made that up, right? It's like it didn't even happen. But the fact he did it is information. So that unknown thing is now a known thing. So now it puts even more pressure and eyes on Jackson Hole, on NVIDIA, right? So if there's people selling right now, you need to think of it in two ways. Are they selling out of fear? Or are they buying protection as a hedge so that if it goes the other way and NVIDIA gives us some good news and the market goes higher and Jackson Hole has some kind of positive news on rates, all the fear of people selling and maybe buying too many puts is going to also be the thing that propels us higher, right? So there is this kind of weird spot in the market right now. But when you see selling continuously and you know that the only thing stopping us from going lower faster is the fact that market makers are buying futures as we go lower. If somebody comes in and says, I'm getting out of here, I want to sell, and we get that bigger selling pressure than market makers can absorb, and you already know the spot, the line in the sand where that can really quickly change just today, I want some risk on just in case somebody comes along and says, I'm going to shove you on the other side of this mountaintop. Look at how far you can go before you find another valley to slow down in. That's why I have a short on. Do I think I'm going to get some huge payoff? I'm in 2 fucking micros, guys. I don't have strong conviction. It's just to see. On a day where everything else is telling me what we should be doing is actually grinding around and finishing closer to this big bar, the fact we're doing this and we keep going lower is telling me we're either going to finish kind of down in this range where things get choppy and no one really is making their mind up, or maybe the thing that's not really priced into the market could happen. And my little cheap 2 micros could suddenly turn into $1,000. So I will leave you with that. Christian is coming up. So I don't want to get too much further in the weeds, but I hope this has been informative. For those of you who attended the class last night, thank you. I think it was great. If you guys beg to differ, then you can tell me. But every day we're going to do this for free. So if you guys are in the class, you've got some fun material to watch these streams with now. So kudos to you. But again, if you guys are just joining and you're getting ready for Christian, just like yesterday where I drew a squiggly line, I said, here's what I think happens. We kind of just went over that. I think the base case for the day would have been, until a few minutes ago, that we effectively would have done something like this. Kind of just drifted, settled and ranged and chopped like we were up against this big spot. The more we keep grinding and going lower, the less confident in that I am. And the more I think what I want to see happen is we get down here and maybe something fun happens and we get down even more towards like this. We might not get down here, but the same behavior that tells me we could have been kind of gravitationally pulled towards that strike is telling me now what we might see is that, but to here. And if we do move to there and we just slowly grind and chop and settle somewhere in here, right? It means that there's this outside chance that something bigger happens, right? And that the influence of all this down here that was buying all afternoon suddenly starts selling futures out, right? So, yeah, I can't re-explain everything in 30 seconds before Christian takes over. But I think if you guys are here and you want to rewatch the beginning of the stream, I feel like today might have been one of the best streams as far as like breaking down why today was choppy and why today also, despite looking supportive, kind of has a trapdoor sitting there. But yeah, how long or how did I learn this? A lot of reading, a lot of watching, a lot of trial and error. But that's why I'm teaching it now, so I can try to give people a shortcut. So, and I will say, just so you guys know, the account that I am trading is a freshly funded 25K account from TPT. So use that 50% off code before it disappears, code RAKE. I think Jake was maybe trading some of those today as well. But that is the account. So I would fully recommend grabbing one. Passed it in 3 days. Unfortunately, the other two that I thought I passed, I made too much money slightly. So then I had to make like an extra $50 or $15 or $30 today to get those other two 25Ks passed. But I didn't want to risk any of my 50K accounts today because this, which is also reflective of my size, I do have an options trade on, but you know, that's basically starting to be profitable. And that options trade was basically for this move, 65 to 25 on SPX. So if we finish anywhere in this box, I spent $150 to potentially make $4,000. So the farther I go in the box, I get $100 per point that I finish in the box. So there's your options trade for the day. But I'm not really banking on that. Again, I still think we kind of grind around, but I'm cautiously hoping that we get kind of a trapdoor sell and some of this positioning shifts and we do some spelunking perhaps. All right, guys, that's it for me. I'm going to bounce. You guys have Christian to keep you company. And if you guys need anything from me, you know where to find me. If you want to follow along, I will throw my Instagram in here. You can find me on YouTube as well. And then if you want to join our premium Discord and get the pre-market plans that I do using this framework, you can follow us there. And then obviously if you guys want to learn from me with Gamma, you know where to find me. But make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Stick around for Christian and see what you guys get this afternoon. All right? Goodbye now.
Yo, 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 yo. Testing. All right, we're good, chat. We're good. How's it going? Testing. All right, we're good, chat. We're good. How's it going? Let's see. What's up? The Home Depot houseplant. What up? Hey, Miller, my dog. What's up? Let's see. Getting situated here. 1 second. And pass me the box as well. The charger box here. How's everyone doing? What a fucking chop, right? What a choppy ass day. See. All right, getting chat set up here on the side as well. What's good? TSF Envisions, what's good? Fish, my dog. Polar bear? Polar bear asked me to, let me see, to tell you that he didn't like you today. Fuck. Why is that? My dogs, what's up? Yeah, what a fucking range session, right? I'm not sure what to think of today. Today I'll break down what I'm seeing here. The weekly coming into, so long we hold the weekly fair value gap here on NQ, I am bullish into all-time highs, right? So the weekly gap CE would be around the 129 150 level, right? Currently not there yet, of course. Monthly is delivering away from a bullish gap. The daily is in a gap as well, right? It's in a gap. We just took out the low in the daily. So for the coming sessions and days, I would want that swing low to hold and start getting a turnaround, right? If this swing low can hold, I would anticipate this this bearish gap getting inverted, that swing high getting taken, and then delivering up into these highs, right? But again, it's all contingent upon that swing low holding, right? We'll see how we close today into end of day. But if we can close above prior bar's prior bar's low, I would anticipate us trading back into the gap entry, and not only that, inverting that gap just to take us to that swing high again, right? And I think if we can displace past that swing high, I think these highs here to the left of us would be coming right shortly after, right? So we have, what is it, about a day and a half left of the week, right? So if the weekly bar can again close inside the weekly or close past prior week's low, the daily can close past prior day's low, right? Kind of using multi-time frame analysis here. If we can close above prior bar's low on the day, and on the week we can close above last week's low, which I believe is the let's call it 550 level. Then next week could be a very interesting week. Once again, something similar to the move actions we had back into, I believe, about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, let's call it. So again, coming into this session, everything's delivering bearish on the intermediate time frames. 4 hours delivering bearish. Again, just took out the low by a couple, by a point, I'm assuming, or so. The hourly, again, is delivering bearish. We created this first gap here that we inverted through overnight, through later end of Asia. London delivered lower. Early London, and London continued delivering lower, respecting bearish gaps, right? Bearish gaps here, bearish gaps there, we're still respecting. So, yeah. So coming into the session, I am bullish bias, but I need to see how we react, right? I don't want to go against the intermediate time frames, in this case being the 4 hour, 1 hour. And, but also keeping in mind that we do have a range session. So if you just look at the regular trading hours, what is this, chat? Is this trending action? No, absolutely not. So in this scenario, if I'm bullish bias on the higher time frames, I want to be trading the range lows into the midway point of the range, right? So in this case, maybe that swing high, right? Maybe that swing high, maybe who knows? Let's just see what price gives us today and go from there. Kind of what I'm seeing now, or what I'm waiting for, is to see how we take out this low, if we do, and how we react off that low on ES, right? If ES can take out that low and kind of get divergence here on assets, and then maybe the 15-minute gap can invert somewhere down here, perhaps. We'll see. Right now, I'm not interested. Right now, I'm not interested in anything until ES can take out that swing low and we start getting bullish confirmation on the lower time frames, meaning the 5-minute, 15-minute, and so on. But yeah, very interesting morning. Not much, if anything at all, right? So let's see what we get today, chat. I'm fucking extremely caffeinated, so let me get some water. Lomeli breaking it down. My dog, William. Got you. Got much love for you, fam. I started off watching you because I was unprofitable, kept motivation. Now I'm pulling in 1,500 to 2,000 days, 1 to 6 hour trades. Thought y'all wouldn't be doing it. My dog, fuck yeah. That's amazing, brother. That's what this whole thing is for. I think that the consistent viewers are the ones that are going to get that stride, you know, not, it's like it's a direct and indirect benefit for both of us, right? You guys watch, help the channel grow, and then in return, you guys grow us traders. So it's like it's this dual benefit for both of us, I guess. Adam, my dog. Lomeli soup. Let's see. I'm guessing that's his sup. What's up, RJV? My dog. 275 measuring that Gamma node's been playing nice. I was 0.75 points from passing an eval today and hit daily loss limit. I love trading. Brother, you were that close, you'll do it again. Shake it off and you're good, you're chilling. But yeah, that fucking sucks. Chat, I genuinely think I fucked up. I'm on my 3rd cup of coffee with no food. I'm tweaking. Fucking wired, man. A little too wired, not gonna lie. It's the first time I went outside for a walk. And yeah, I got a 3rd coffee and low-key regretting it, not gonna lie. I guess I regret not getting food. How is that unhealthy? Three cups of coffee so far, or I guess I've drank 2. It's pretty full right now. This is my 3rd one. Yeah, it's not bad. It's about, yeah, I would say for sure under 300 milligrams of caffeine. Bro, honestly, William, if I wasn't streaming, I'd be doing some sort of workout right now. That's how fucking wired I am. It might be a little bad thing, just given I want to do something. So at least you guys will have some high energy today. How many? Oh, shit. Whatever. So let's say 120. Yeah, so far consumed about 300. Let's say 240. Not bad. Not the worst. Not the best either. I don't know, man. Something about coffee. Something about coffee is I'm genuinely addicted. I've been going to this Vietnamese coffee place and they serve like 5 shots and I'm bouncing. Yeah, that's fucking OD. That's OD. You have ADHD? I wouldn't doubt it, honestly. I've never been diagnosed with it or anything, but never been. Let me see. I wouldn't doubt it though, bro. What even is ADHD? Let's see. I mean, I know what it means, but the actual definition. Common neurodevelopmental medical condition that starts in childhood, often lasts in adulthood. Trouble staying on task, losing items and forgetting daily routines, constant moving, fidgeting. Yeah, this I wouldn't say I have. Constant moving for sure, fidgeting maybe, feeling restless, acting fast without thought. No, absolutely, this is not me. I fucking have to think 10 times about what I'm eating before I even. Nah, out of every single mental disorder, I guess, this is me. Constantly worried. Yeah, which is something I work on, but yeah, for sure. I don't think I have ADHD. But fuck, what's that other? What's it called when you need everything to be like perfect? OCD. I think if anything, OCD, chat. A little too much OCD. Obsessive compulsive disorder is a real mental health condition. Having a loop of bad, unwanted thoughts, feeling strong, needing to repeat acts. Worrying a lot about dirt or getting sick. Wanting things lined up in a very straight or balanced way. Going back many times to see if doors are locked or ovens are... Bro, yeah, I can't leave the house. Damn, this is crazy. I can't leave my house without checking the stove. Is that weird, chat? I left the house one time with the iron on. Yeah, and then my girl, luckily she got home right after, but ah shit, it wasn't showing, but yeah. Did we take out the low, chat, or no? We left relative equal lows. So I want to see us take out these lows here. High functioning ADHD and OCD. Polar bear, Jared, my dog. We were counting you out today. High functioning ADHD. Fuck is that? Let me see. Man, there's conditions for everything. High functioning. Is an informal term for adults with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder who manage to achieve external success in school, work, or careers. They do this by using intense coping mechanisms and masking through their skills, experience heavy internal stress, executive dysfunction, and burnout. I don't know. I'm no doctor. I don't know. One thing about me though is I tend to worry a lot. I tend to I hate saying no to people, and or not hate, like I feel extremely uncomfortable saying no to people. Yeah, but I will say no. But yeah, an extreme I don't know, a level of OCD that might be out of the normal, or out of the normal range, I guess. Lomeli Bobelli, not smelly. You're... What did I just read, Jordan? Dish, I know I couldn't count on you. Y'all ever think that it's just human nature? Brother, I think what I think a lot about... Oh shit, I should plug in my laptop. 1 second. Before this shit dies. I don't know. I think that we live in a time where dopamine is everywhere, right? And we don't let our brains rest. And I think that with that causes a lot of it heightens what we're predispositioned with. That's just my theory, or what I think. Lomeli just like me. Exactly, brother. Everyone wants to be diagnosed with something to blame the lack of. on some area of their life. And I you know, that's, man, I'm fucking wired, chat. Can't even speak. Yeah, it's one thing I'm constantly trying to work on, Polar Bear, is less screen time, which is hard because I'm simultaneously trying to grow on Instagram. So it's and reply to or DMs and everything, and constantly trying to be posting. It's a double-edged sword for sure. Fuck yeah, Polar Bear. Do I doom scroll? Hell yeah. Sometimes a little too much. I go through waves though, not gonna lie. I go through waves. Definitely not on TikTok as much as I used to. But Instagram. You know what's crazy though, chat? My Instagram For You page is very I think it's very healthy. I think if you do it intentionally, it's not that bad. Like, you won't catch me doom scrolling middle of the day. I remember I used to set time slots for doom scrolling, which is that OCD, chat? Bro is going Hollywood. Wait, what are you talking about? What's your bias for PM session? Bias is longer at the 470. I want to see us take out this low before we I look for anything to the upside. Or did we take it out? Let me see. 80.25. Yeah, we have yet to take it out. I want this low to get taken. Yeah, exactly. It's like you're searching. It's like, for me, I noticed that sometimes I struggle going to bed because I don't want the day to end. I don't know. It's like this weird feeling that I have. Like, I want the day to keep going. So I mask that by going on my phone. Like, all right, like, I feel like I need to do something, but I feel like I should let my mind rest. And what does your mind go to? Fucking scrolling. Trust me, I've been getting a lot better at that though, for sure, over the years. Which now I try to stay off my phone the last like hour or so before bed. Pick up a book, or even just chill. Like, let the mind relax. Same thing in the morning though. In the morning, try to stay off the phone. Yeah. The worst doom scroll is X. Half of the content is AI. Yeah, that's one platform I don't really use. Man, what a fucking chop session, chat. How's my UPS position doing? Yeah. I was up this morning. Now I'm probably still slightly over break even. Believe it or not, I spoke to a therapist about the same issue I was having. I had a paranoia associated with time or loss of time. I felt like time was going too fast and that I didn't accomplish. What helped with his journal, a list of things to do each day and mark them off, even if they are Huh? Candlestick cowboy. So it is an actual thing people struggle with. I thought it was just me. Not gonna lie. Holy shit. Yeah, I tried doing shit like that, like the small accomplishments shit, but then it would make me man, I sound like a bitch. It would make me anxious, feeling like whenever I didn't check it off. Oh shit. Chad, I'm just living life, dog. I'm just living life. I might be too heavy in UPS. You're in UPS longs or shorts? Yeah, fucking to-do lists never really, or not even to-do lists. Just having a list in general never really worked with me. Because I noticed I go through waves where I'm fucking locked in. I'm sprinting, if you want to call it. And then I go through waves where I literally, I'm not even joking, chat, I don't do shit for like a week. Yeah, I'm still in UPS puts. Still in UPS puts. Kind of monitoring that same the 103 level, honestly. So long we keep getting closures under the 103, I'm loving it. But ideally, I wanted the weekly bar to close bearish, or like a bearish trend bar. But yeah, still in it. Very strong level though at the 103 level. Yeah, that's the only open position I have for options. I'm looking at QQQ longs, but I need to see more from price. No, don't worry, Cowboy. I understood completely, and that's actually interesting. It kind of made me think more about it. I still can't believe how you nailed meta day before that insane dump. Lomeli has to be an insider. Nah, I think what gave me conviction on that trade is the simple fact of where NQ was. Right? NQ, like if you guys have been watching me time and time again, right? You guys are consistent viewers on my time slot. You guys from down here, you guys heard me mention. You guys can go back or whatever, you know, if you've been watching, you know this. If not, you can go back. But this whole move down, I was calling a 30,100 level, essentially, right? This triple top here that became a quadruple top. And I mentioned that once we got there, I would be looking for shorts or puts, right? Back into a rebalance. When we topped out, all I really did, it's nothing crazy. Looked for a weak name. The weak name at that point was Meta. Right? Meta at this point. Levels were the 580. Next level was 540. Right? Pretty straightforward. Straightforward play, in my opinion. Another name, I managed to catch QQQ puts as well. But another name I had on watch was UPS. But this, I gave myself a little bit more room for my expiration. So we'll see how those play out. But yeah, fucking nailed meta. I've been trying to have more of a consistent to-do list recently. I also get bad anxiety if I don't get them done or don't feel productive. What's helped me recently is limiting myself to top 5 tasks. Yeah, that's fire. Fuck yeah. That's good. Yeah, I noticed that everyone works differently. I got caught up in the whole Instagram way of like viewing things. Like I need to do this by this time, that by this time. I gotta work out daily, and like now I'm more on cruise control, meaning that so long I'm consistent with everything that I do with my diet, my gym, my posting, my everything, right? I think that I'm just happier as a whole, right? And I'm just more consistent year round. And if I go through periods where I'm just fucking dialed, then I try to push on that. And whenever I feel like I need a little rest, I kind of ease off the pedal. Yeah, if anything, right now I'd be looking for shorts into ES's 680 level. Dougie, my dog. Yeah, everyone's brain is fucking, man, chat. Yeah, the brain is one crazy fucking thing. Like to think that we're all consciously making decisions, right? Like we're the only species that we know of that has free will, right? Like there's things that are instilled in us, but other than that, we have the conscious ability to make decisions, whether good or bad. Bro, a polar bear, do you think ICT structure has helped you stay so disciplined? Yes, I think the all the fancy terms that ICT has, like, you know, fair value gaps, order blocks, things of such, is just a way to find trend, right? That's all it is. But for me, it gave me an area where if it doesn't test into, I'm not taking it, right? That's all it really gave me. Yeah, absolutely, polar bear. Okay, ES just took out that low. We'll see how the hourly candle here behaves. We'll see if we can react off this low here. Also, life forces an unbalance. If you have a job, you're told when to eat and told when to be, and trading gives you freedom structure, which naturally is hard to stay in. Yeah, I think that's why the same reason that trading attracts a lot of entrepreneurial minded people is the same reason that those same people struggle, right? Because you want this environment that has no structure. You want this environment that you can do whatever you please, right? In trading, which in theory you can show up whenever, you can do whatever, but it's for that same reason that a lot of people struggle, because they hate, their brains aren't wired to create structure, or at least they don't realize it in the moment. So I think it's like this counterintuitive thing that becomes an issue throughout the years for the average trader, is because they want it so bad. They're so ambitious. They've probably tried other ambitious things, right? But trading, for some reason, they gravitate towards, because of that same reason. They want to do it on their own. They're not told what to do, when to clock in, when to clock out. They're not told what the fuck to do with their life, right? It's all up to them. And it's for that reason that perhaps ego gets in the way. Like, I can do it. I don't need it, you know? What's your drawn liquidity? I'm new here. My drawn liquidity is higher for now. So for the session, 470, but I would need to see more from this area. Should see some speed, son. Oh, soon. Exactly. Adam, that's perfectly put. Everyone has some level of discipline. Like, if you guys really think about it, there's something in your life. Atomic Habits talks about this. Everyone brushes their teeth first thing in the morning, or at least I would hope so, right? You're disciplined in brushing your teeth. Now, it's because it's become this mundane thing that it's part of who you are. You, Polar Bear, you, Adam, you, Juma, you, the Trader Bob, everyone does that without even thinking. It's discipline, right? But that's how discipline works. You have to instill that as part of your identity so it can then become effortless. From the outside in, it looks like it's an effortless endeavor, right? So for those who work out, for me, it's part of who I am. If I don't work out, I feel out of whack because it now became part of who I am. It's my identity, right? So you have to look at routine building and habit building and discipline as such, right? Make it to where it's part of who you are. Let's see, what are we doing here? We'll see how that low holds up here. London lows or pre-market lows. Hourly. I'd be looking for a long back into the range here, so long we can hold London lows. So true. I'd say the hardest job for least amount of physical work, and that's hard for an outside viewer to see that doesn't know anything about it. Yeah, fuck yeah. Said Lomeli, my dog, Adam. Yeah, this session is gonna require some patience from me today. Requires some patience from me today, chat. Not gonna lie. Scalpers environment today. Fuck yeah. Absolutely. There was a valid short here in this area down to the lows, but I didn't quite trust it given the context for the day. Which again wasn't necessarily a bad short given we did have relatively equal lows down below us on ES, but yeah. Now that we're at the low, waiting for a reaction back higher. This internal high here would be an objective if we can start flipping here. Yeah, craziest thing, I'm aware of it when I do it now, but I still continue because sometimes the revenge worked in the past. Yeah, it's a slippery slope in my opinion. That's the way the brain is wired. Your brain is wired to avoid pain, and the bad decisions in trading, it's your brain's natural way of avoiding pain, right? If you're in a loss or if you took 2 losses, your brain goes to let's make it back because this is uncomfortable. So you go through this behavior that your rational mind isn't really in agreement with, and then you end the session thinking, what the fuck did I do? So it is this slippery slope that I think that if you're able to understand it, that's half of the work. The other half is actually doing it, which is the hard part. Don't be the guy in the staircase. In saving Private Ryan, you can all do. I got this. Fuck yeah. Hell yeah, Trader Bob. Yeah, especially today, Polar Bear. This action was fucking horrendous. I would argue PM has been better this last week. The logic state, damn, that's crazy. Yeah, I went heavy on that book, the Mental Game of Trading. I literally did everything the book recommended, which is crazy. I still have the PDF for the logic statements, which is crazy. Crazy to think about. SC Trader, what's up? What's up? How you doing? Chat, you guys want to hear an interesting story or a pretty cool story that happened to me yesterday? Well, for me, not for you guys, but it was a pretty cool feeling. Logic statements. Great, thanks. Yeah, those logic statements did honestly for me, bro, it's crazy. I would record them on a voice memo and listen to them on my way to the gym, on my way every time I would be driving, essentially. Crazy. Yeah, bro. I've never longs. Yeah, I'm looking for upside. I've been recognized in Cali about twice, right, from Instagram, which is still, it's crazy, it's absurd, right? Yesterday I was just walking streets of New York. Some guy had my Instagram pulled up on his phone. He's like, yo, Lomeli trades. I don't know, it gave me a warm feeling in my heart. His name was Malcolm. And yeah, honestly, made my day, Malcolm. So if you're watching, brother, shout out Malcolm. I was confused, no lie. He's like, brother. And then he showed me the page. I was like, holy shit. I was a bit starstruck, not gonna lie. I'm like, holy shit. Whole different state. Crazy. Power of social media is absurd, right? It's fucking wild. Yeah, it's never happened to me outside of California. Which even then, it's crazy. No. Fuck no. No, it's just, it's such a niche. I was telling my girlfriend, it's such a niche community that when it happens, I don't know, it feels amazing. It feels amazing because it's now, it's almost like it made me realize, like, man, this shit is real. Like, the people watching are real. They're real people, right? It's not just numbers on a screen, which I feel like I fail to realize that even currently right now, 170 of you guys watching, but everyone in a room, that's fucking 170 people watching. You guys know how crazy that is? Like, I don't take it for granted one bit. The New York meetup, I don't know if it's happening this year. Fuck, I don't know how much I should say, but just know that whenever Jake will announce it for sure. But I think that it is gonna happen. On the 6th of August, I think. That 4-hour candle. 6th of August. Oh, okay. The draw on liquidity. Yeah, I'm waiting on some sort of reversal to happen, not gonna lie. Not interested in shorts at all here. Quick little interruption here. Code RAKE on every single firm would get you the best deals out there, right? Tradeify, Lucid, TPT. Never tried TPT, but I'm actually might pick up some evos. Yeah, potential on TPT is crazy. Papi Chulo, what up, agent? All you use, really? Yeah, the 3-day pass now is a bit better, right? You trying the 49 3K challenge? I haven't heard of it. I'll look into it, Elder. I think with trading, I don't get the 3-day pass, so 1K trades. No, how it used to be was 5 days. I don't know. I haven't done any research yet, so I might be wrong. But how it used to be was 5 days, so you with 50% consistency rule. So now I'm assuming it's the same thing. You just need to basically take one micro in and out just to complete the 3rd day. Correct me if I'm wrong though, chat. Never used it. Lucid and Top Step today. You're right. Okay, got you. Yeah. Okay, let's see what we get here, chat. We just took out external range in a range day with the higher time frame profile. So I would be looking for minimum or rebalance here. 1 second, chat. Give me 1 second. All right, I'm back. The 15-minute bar here closes in the next 7 minutes. Let's see what we get here, chat. 5-minute bar here closes in the next about minute or so. Let's see what we get here, chat. You're looking for a trade back into the range, essentially. Five-minute closes here soon. Five-minute here closes in the next 3 minutes or so. Let's see. A little earlier entry than usual, but given today's profile, I still liking it. A little locked in here, chat. Kind of filtering through time frames. There's 2.5 minutes left on the 5-minute bar here. Hawking this, chat. I'm hawking it, trying to see if I can get an entry here. An entry in the next minute or two would give me a green bar here on the 5-minute. Would probably go break even pretty quickly here. That swing high.
Order filled.
I'm trying that. Earlier entry than usual, but 211.
Order filled.
Okay, yeah, let's see what we get. Let's see if I can get an early entry here into if I can catch this, the swing. This would be a good R to R. But essentially go break even pretty quickly at the swing high at a about a 101 R. If I target the 15-minute swing high here inside. If we can get there. Let's see what we get here, chat. 15-minute bar closed. So yeah, I'd go break even here. Stop is at 211. Yeah, looking for a trade back into the range in a range environment with a bullish overall draw for myself, which it is a bit counter trend. I see that, but if it does play out, it is a good R to R. Otherwise, I'd step back and kind of let this do its thing down here in the range. Let's see if it plays out 5R. If it doesn't, it was worthy of a shot, worthy of a stab here. Worthy of a stab. We just need to get, as soon as we take over 250, essentially, I'd go break even. If and when. If and when. My dog Mitch, 150-point stream, short E. Sadly, 2 micros. Hey, so long you caught it, Mitch. That's what matters. That's what matters, my dog. Who are you talking to, Polar Bear? Me or Mitch? I'm assuming you're talking to Mitch because I'm in some longs here. Which isn't looking so good here. Let's see. We're in an area for me that I would want to see higher prices, so I would anticipate price to continue to the upside. Oh, and why do you think the selling is continuing? Oh, I got you. Let me see. Just let me manage this real quick. It's close to my stop here. All right, take me out, take me out. It inched my stop loss. Let me see. If this continues, chat, this got to be the greatest stop loss placement of all time. Stop loss is 211. I think we got down to 211.5. Let's see. Yeah, I don't like that 5-minute bar closure. Don't like it. Not my favorite. Not my favorite. I'm just staring at that stop here. 211. Take it. Take it, take it. Take it or push. Do one or the other, but don't just stall here. I swear, Chad, if this ends up playing out, what an edge. 20 micros, yeah. Moki, no, I don't work. Well, I guess this is work, but go Uptown Fresh, my dog. Might be the most goat melee trade of all time. Brother, if this ends up playing out, crazy. Moki, yeah, well, technically for Seattle, I had to go do some things in Seattle, but Chicago and New York, yes. Chicago and New York, yeah. My girl wanted to come to New York, so we came to do some things for her. And Chicago, I wanted to go to. Yeah, it's never like this back to back. It's only like that this month, which it just so happened that everything kind of lined up in the same time period. But yeah, Costa Rica's coming next week. And there it's a one-way, so I'm staying there for either 2 weeks to 4 weeks. Kind of undecisive still. But yeah, just locking in there. Chicago for Labor Day weekend? Fuck yeah. When is Labor Day weekend, chat? Let me see. September 7th. Oh shit, it's coming up. Fire. Fire. It's coming up. Again, chat, the P&L or charts are going to be frozen depending on what screen I am. I am on my travel setup, so that's the unfortunate part here, but Again, going break even here. Stop at 211. Targeting that internal high up here. No trading. Probably will still be live though. I think we will, but as far as trading goes, I don't think so. Yeah, that 5 minutes not looking too bullish per se. See. All right, stop is at 211. Let's see. Wait, this might be the biggest play you've drawn up. Yeah, it's a little earlier entry, which is why the R to R is very favorable. But again, I am aware that it is a very it's a pretty early on trade, given we are delivering bearish. But I do think that if I can catch the low here, that swing high is very probable. Going break even at this internal high, which is a 15-minute bearish gap entry. So let's see. Hope it works. Might say my Friday calls. You got calls expiring Friday? What's your strike price? And what is it SPY or QQ? Are you buying? Yeah, I went in on exactly at 11:29, so my time, so 2:29 Eastern. Set an alert there at the internal high. SPX 7740s. Holy shit. Damn, you're out of the money, huh? A lot. $7,740 SPX, which would be over Wednesday's high. Yeah, that's a tough one. Honestly, we would need a very, very again, we would need today's bar to close over last week's bar, or sorry, today's bar to close over yesterday's bar. And if that can happen, I think that's a good indication that we could potentially get a trend bar tomorrow. Otherwise, I'd be a little consider those calls kind of expiring worthless, perhaps. Because yeah, if we just range, it might. When do they expire? You said tomorrow? Greatest stop loss placement ever. Brother, if this continues and plays out, what a stop loss. That last 15-minute bar closed pretty nicely. Let's see if we can continue here. Let's see. A lot of range happening at the low, which is good. But we need to continue now. We need some displacement, man. Give me some displacement, man. All we really need to do is get to 250. At that point, I'd go break even, and I don't really give a shit what happens after. Just give me 250, chat. That's all I need. 250. NQ, give me 250. NQ can give me 250. This now becomes either a 5R trade or a break even. And for me, I'll take that every single fucking day. Every day. Let me get my hoodie, chat. 1 second. Oh, chat. Fucking cool, chat. Chat, where's the energy today, chat? How we doing, man? For those just tuning in, hope everyone's doing fine. More than fine, actually. Hope everyone's doing amazing. And again, the P&L or the charts will be frozen depending on what window I am on my laptop. So just keep that in mind. And now on my charts. Oh, girl, gonna put on the heater like yesterday? Ew, no, I'd rather be cold. But it's a little too cold. Yeah, I told her to turn it down yesterday. What did she do? She turned on the heater. Holy shit, it's raining. No, it's just raining. Okay, break even now, chat. Break even. Break even. I'm break even now, chat. What a fucking goated stop loss. I'm not gonna lie. What a goated stop loss. 211 was my stop loss. I'll tell you guys exactly why that was a stop in a bit, but right now I'm up 1R. Given how early of an entry this is, I'm gonna accept the break even. I'm gonna accept the break even and just let this either give me a 5R trade or break even. I'm more than happy with that. I'm more than happy with that. Nasty work. Yeah, 15-minute looks amazing for a trade back up into the range. And if this hourly bar can go from red to green on a trend on a range day, I think we can tap into that internal high, which just happens to be a what is it? If we take that today's high to low, right? Today's high to low would be right under premium of the range. So let's see if we can get that. $2R. If you guys really want to be very, very safe, $2R would be the lowest of the lowest hanging fruit. The 265. Which would be premium of the 15-minute or the 5-minute leg. I'm gonna just let this do his thing. I'm going for that 5R, baby. Wait, let's see where ES is. ES, I have that swing high here. Oh, shit. Stop is at 230.75. 230.75. So I am break even on this. Yeah, if we can inverse this 15-minute, looking good. Even looking good for this high up here, which at that point would be a 10R trade. 9R, but let's round up. Actually, can you turn the AC down a little bit or up? Sorry, I'm fucking shivering, man. Overstimulated with caffeine and being cold does not mix. Explain how you knew Citadel wouldn't wick you out at 211. Oh shit. No, I mean I'm break even, but the stop loss placement came from the OTE, right? Swing low to high on the 1 minute was 0.79 was at 212, so I made sure it was right underneath it. 211. That's all it was. On top of that, we had a 5-minute. This red line here is a 5-minute wick CE. So at that point we had two, and then on top of that we had a bullish BPR here on the 1 minute. So in my opinion, I entered, where did I enter? Somewhere on this range. And the stop could have been down here, but right underneath OTE, the CE of the 5-minute gap and the fair value gap here, in my opinion, was a safe stop to have. Meaning that if we got there, we more than likely would have taken out the swing low. Right? And at this point, I'm break even. You could potentially go take it, right, at a 101. But I'm gonna hold on. I'm break even now. So worst comes to worst, break even day, best case scenario, 5R. You can see the matrix. Nah, for all we know, I mean, this is a very early trade and I'm more than comfortable getting stopped out here, which is still on the table, to be honest. It's still on the table. We just rebalanced to a 15-minute gap, so it's still on the table. So the trade is under the idea that I caught that I anticipate this being the bottom and a new leg not forming, right? So let's see. What about Bitcoin kind of pumping the last couple days? The last 2 days. Let's see. Let's see. Looks good on the 2 minute. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Set an alert here. Once the hourly bars goes from red to green, and the 4-hour bar. 15 minute, 5 minute. Yeah, the only thing that's keeping me from holding this and not taking the 1-to-1 and locking in a compound day is the fact that we've had a range day. Range day, meaning on range day, you want to trade the extremes and be comfortable with trading the extremes. You don't want to be trading continuation plays. So my thought process is those trying to play the breakout of pre-market low are getting caught. Essentially, that's kind of where my headspace is going to. But that's not to say I can get ticked out just for price to continue or for price to come back low and take out the low of day essentially. So just weighing out probabilities here, and I'm comfortable with holding here. Right to that CE, literally, bro. Methodic, my dog. What's up, brother? Again, yesterday I took this similar trade and I took the 1-to-1, which kind of contemplating taking it now. Decisions, man, decisions. Decisions, man. Fuck it. Holding this bitch. Right to that CE, literally. Literally. Let's see. I want to see some displacement, honestly. Enough fucking around. L for me in the AM had some time, so show it up for the support. My dog, appreciate you, Methodic. Man, been crushing it, my guy. I've been seeing those nice payouts. Yeah, keep at it, Methodic. I'm not fucking leaving. That's a meme, ain't it? Let me see. Oh, it's the Jordan Belfort dude, right? I'm not fucking leaving. The show goes on. This is my home. This month has been wild. Traded less with bigger ROI. That's fire. Fuck yeah. That's amazing. No, fuck yeah. You've been crushing it. ES is Dragon. Oh yeah, fucking ES, man. ES is looking heavy. ES is doing some bullshit, man. ES. ES, that's why I don't trade you. That's why you get no love. You're like that least unfavorite child. Still in New York? Yeah, still in New York, my guy. Everybody hates ES. Holy shit, we have 30 minutes till stream ends. Again, chat, if this plays out, what a goated stop loss. Come on, man. Give us some displacement. Again, the P&L gets frozen whenever I scroll back to the windows. So right now I'm on the P&L or on my execution window. The charts are frozen. Then I go back to charts. And now the P&L is frozen. So just keep that in mind. I'll flip back and forth. Yes, you're not fucking helping. Chat, it's currently 3 p.m. in New York, and I have yet to eat food. Literally, as soon as I hop off stream, I'm about to run my ass to a food spot. Don't know exactly what I'm eating yet, but fucking starving. Yeah, if you guys took that, I mean, taking wherever you want, honestly, it's taking profits wouldn't be a bad idea, but I accepted a bigger R to R going break even, so that's my kind of trying to stick with my game plan here. Trying to stick with the game plan here, chat. Sheesh. Give me 1 or 2 more candles like this. 1 or 2 more candles like this, and I'll take it home. Give me 1 or 2 more candles like this, chat. And ES, fuck you. Nah, it's all jokes, chat. It's all jokes. All jokes. He said Pop Popkin. My dog wrong. What's up, brother? You take anything today wrong? Stole that shit, right?
Stole that shit. That's what I do, nigga.
Small yes right now, but nothing before that. Are you in longs? Longs or shorts? Because I know ES is basically at low of day. So honestly, I would make an argument for both sides on ES. $70. Yeah. Fuck. Forgot what I said. Did I say you're in shorts or longs? 71. You're in shorts at 71? Oh, okay, longs. Gotcha. Yeah, we're getting a little bit of divergence here between, or a lot actually, the last 5 or so minutes, which is nice to see. I guess for me, nice to see. ES being the leading asset. Bad for you though, wrong. Chat, we take it back. It's no more fuck ES. It's come on ES. Nice read, my guy. Methodic, appreciate you, brother. Let's go, man. No, it's still fuck yes. All right, fuck you. It's fuck yes then. Nice. This is exactly what we want to see. What a banger, chat. $15-minute. Yeah, I'm a hold this shit. We have a gap here on the hourly. Gap fill 302. I'm gonna move my TP here to 302. 302 is TP. So it's still a 4-hour trade. TP is now at 302, so yeah, TP is now 302, chat. Roughly. Anywhere in this range, I'd be comfortable with taking it. Which we almost kind of got to. Yeah, so far we're still ES is still lagging, right? We have a gap entry on the 15-minute. So long we haven't yet got there, I'm comfortable holding this long. Come on, man. I need steak for dinner today. $302 is my TP here. So the hourly candle just went from green to red. Wait, no, I'm tripping. The 4-hour candle went from green to red here soon, actually. Not quite. Not quite, not quite. You know what? Fingers on the trigger here. If we don't pump here, I'm taking it. If we don't pump here, I'm taking it. If we don't pump here, I'm taking it, chat. If we don't pump here, fingers on the trigger. I'm taking it.
Order filled.
That's me. That's me, chat. That's all me. Just took it. Took TP, full TP there. 3.5 R. Not bad, not too shabby. Partial sum I could, but I'm up 3.5 R. Right? I'm literally aiming, I'm trying to aim for another half an R. I'm trying to aim for another half R while giving away 3.5 R. It doesn't make sense. Right? After a move like that, right, on the 5-minute especially, does this sound reasonable? A pullback, sure, absolutely, 100%, especially with ES kind of doing ES things. So this sounds reasonable. For me to give it up right at a level where I would anticipate rejection, the hourly gap entry, I'd much rather take it. 3.5 R, giving away half an R, I'll take it every single fucking day. And this is where trade management comes in. Understanding and being aware of where you are in price. Fucking banger, chat. Long overdue for a nice trade like this. The last 2 weeks been getting momentum back, and yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. Yesterday off stream, the trade we were in last ended up playing out. It was nice. Bro, talk about the stop loss positioning. Got in here, stop loss was 211. I was considering this trade being gone out the window. Crazy. From entry to stop loss to take profit, chat. Get on Lomeli's Master 1.0 waitlist, guys. Not paid for this at all. My dog, Methodic. Yeah, I created I guess I'll talk about it. I created a mastermind waitlist on my Instagram. So if you guys go on my Instagram story, go ahead and click it. Just given the amount of demand I was getting on DMs, if you guys go answer a couple questions, just like name, email, how long you've been trading for. If you guys are interested on working on a one-on-one level with myself, if the demand is high enough, I would consider doing a mentorship, right? So never ever announced it. This is, I guess, the first time. So my dog Methodic, appreciate you, my guy. Still can't process the stop loss missing by inches. Brother, goated stop loss, no? And it's almost like OTE. It's almost like OTE works. Sniper stop loss, my dog. Banger trade, bro. Dynamic R should be shorts on ES now. Not necessarily. Not quite yet. My phone. Oh, stupid. Yeah, he did. He said, first trade, the order block saved us. Fire trade, the order block saved us. Yeah, fire exit too, by the way. Fire trade. What a month, chat. You got stopped at 212? No fucking way. Ah, that sucks. Typically, yeah, I like to leave my stop a little bit below OTE. Anywhere around 208, 210 would have been valid. My stop was literally 211. Chat, if you guys go on let's see. If you guys are interested in working on a one-on-one level with me, or just overall mentorship, go on my Instagram, click the link. It'll take you to the link tree. Again, chat, this is on Udemy, so bear with me. And then you just click join the waitlist. And just fill out that paperwork. All it is like email, name, and a couple of questions. Should take you no longer than 5 minutes. No commitment whatsoever, but it's for me to kind of gauge demand and see if people are actually interested, right? Otherwise, no biggie. Won't do anything, right? Okay, we just entered into the gap entry. Honestly, if I wasn't out there, I'd be fully out there. What a month. From catching meta, catching SPY, catching QQ puts, SPY calls, meta puts. Bangers like this on a day-to-day, man. And in UPS puts still, which are looking good, honestly, for the daily. We keep rejecting the 103 level. I just want tomorrow to be a trend bar, close at the low of the week, so the weekly bar can be bearish, right? Yeah, UPS looks good. That's the only open swing I have on options. Oh shit, I forgot about chat. Forgot about chat, man. How did I forget about you guys? I had it on my phone. Let's see. I think I got to 2 or something. It was crazy close. Yeah, bro, the stop was fucking close. What's your Insta? It is Lomeli trade, so I got you. Can I get a discount? I think, yeah, I got you, brother. Absolutely. I think the first ever quote unquote mastermind would be probably would be the discounted rate. Meaning it'd be extremely cheap. Relative to like market price. The three 5-minute candles in a row had a low of bro, I know. No, yeah, overall it was an amazing trade in my opinion. Amazing fucking trade. I think I think there's nothing negative to say about this trade other than maybe the stop could have been at the low. But even then, stop loss placement was amazing. TP was amazing. Break even was amazing. Everything about this trade was amazing. From the read to the management to the exit. Everything was amazing. Got you. Go big and go home. Got you, my guy. Yeah, this is exactly why I'd rather take a 3.5R rather than wait and achieve full TP. Right? To not experience shit like this. A pullback. And then just have us close somewhere in the range. Right? Last PMI rocketed. Most names curious with how bearish things look. Yeah, we'll see. Genuinely, I'm bullish into the coming days. I'm still bullish, right? I'm bullish into the coming days. So long we hold this internal low here, right? Stop being so cute, Lomeli. You're not allowed to. Adrian, my dog. No, I was gonna make a joke, but never mind. Now that you're out, you can root for my SPX put spread to go fully in the money. My dog, let's do it. It's no longer fuck ES or SPX, it's dump SPX. Or actually, I take that back, because wrong might still be in ES. Fuck, we got conflicting signals here, chat. What's your SPX? What's your you said F wrong. Okay, Mitch. What's your SPX strike price? I get 4K on 160 of risk if we finish at 76.25. Oh shit. Damn, the R to R multiple is crazy. No, if anything, ES can do that, especially if NQ kind of starts trailing back lower. ES being the weaker asset, is it far-fetched? Not really. Right? That would be it is warm, yeah. But I mean, it's fine. I was a little cold. But listen, I take another 10 points even, 100 per point. $100 per point. Yeah, got you. That's it, another 10 points. Oh, so you still profit even if you move 10 points? If we move 10 points on SPX? Oh, so regardless, you're in profit right now, Mitch, is what you're saying. Oh, yeah, you're chilling then. Okay. You're chilling. Oh, I see. Yeah, really have no idea of how spreads work, but that sounds interesting. I got a book one time on options. On it was called Options, the Option Playbook, I think. Since then, yeah, I'm only familiar with like naked option calls or puts. No, trust me, options are fucking crazy. I did the math on mRNA. Everyone was talking about it on Instagram. The options on these mRNA calls would have made you generational wealth. Crazy. Brother, 260,000%. Fucking wild, right? I traded like ass these past 30 minutes and only down 61. I'll take it. IDK why I try to fight against gamma positions. Not smart on my part. So long you're alive, brother. That's what matters. You stayed alive and... Yeah, that's true, Andrew. But what I mean by that, and I was sharing with my girlfriend yesterday as well, like it's one of those things, like for example, if the setup on mRNA was good for a swing and I was positioned on options, right, with my normal size, like it's and those news get released which are out of my control. That's what I mean by generational wealth, right? Is if you were to take it and luck is on your side when you're in the position with a technical chart and shit like that just happens, like sure, a shit ton of luck is required, right? But just saying that it's fucking crazy. But is it really your normal size? Fair then. Yeah. So regardless, if I go in with my normal size, it's a crazy return. Crazy. Yeah, putting yourself exactly, literally well said. Yeah, if you take 1,000 trades, you're bound to run into something, not to that extreme, but something like this, that luck is on your side, and then something in the opposing side where luck is not on your side, right? Like say I'm right now currently I'm in UPS puts. If UPS comes out that they are partnering with, I don't know, fucking Amazon, right? To deliver packages or whatever, this shit is going to skyrocket and luck is not going to be in my side, right? Now, if they come out with negative news saying they are halting deliveries for the next month because of XYZ, luck is on my side with the technical setup. That's what I mean, right? But yeah, no, crazy return. Crazy return, but also crazy advances in technology, right? Shout out to all those people working on deeper into cancer research and everything. Fire trade today, chat. Honestly, at this point, not really looking for much else. Banger trade from beginning of stream, or about an hour into stream actually, to taking full TP at 3.5 OR. I still think we see higher for the session here. Yeah, I still think we see higher. I do think we see that 325 level. I really do. Wish I was in MNQ instead of ES for those. Yeah, that sucks. Like for wrong, like the idea is there, but the ES just seems to be lagging. It's literally just ranging. All right, bro. Signing off, my guy, Methodic. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, and thanks for being the start of the announcement for the mentorship, I guess. Appreciate you, my guy. Yeah, Bitcoin is just pumping. Three days to pass. Minimum days until first withdrawal 0. Immediate. Yeah, these are some cool accounts other than the intraday trailing drawdown. But if I'm assuming, like, if I do pick these up, I would try to get them out of drawdown, or sorry, out of intraday drawdown as quick as possible. That's, in my opinion, that's how you trade these. Fire. Yeah, code rake on these accounts and it'll get you the best deals. Fire. Yeah, code rake get you the best deals. I'll probably pick some of these up later today or tomorrow. But yeah, never used them. I'm lying. I got an eval once, blew it right away going heavy, and this was probably like a year ago. But I've never been never been funded with them, which I think will be my next firm. But yeah, that's it for me. Got you guys. Thanks for the trade. Got you guys. And again, link in my bio on Instagram. Sign up for the wait list if you're looking to work on a closer basis with me. Don't know exactly how I would approach it just yet, but I just want to gauge demand, right? I want to see how many people are actually interested. No commitment whatsoever. It's just for me to get an idea if you are looking to work on a deeper basis with me, right? So never have done anything like this. Just want to preface. So it's just me kind of going based off of demand on my Instagram. Decided to made that a couple weeks ago. But yeah, I guess now I announced it, and again, Methodic, thank you for I saw your DM notification right now. No, yeah, fuck no. If anything, thank you, my guy. But yeah, that's it for me, chat. Heading out. Link in bio. Yeah, let's get this started, chat. Sounds good. Talk soon.